I think my first memory of horses is such a beginning memory, such a basic memory. My mother would visit an older aunt in Iowa on a farm, and they literally had an old horse that they would put you on, and the horse would go around the outside of the house, and then my mom's aunt would hand us a popcorn ball through the window, and it was like a babysitting situation. You would just go round and round. I've always loved horses. They come across almost spiritual somehow. They're quiet. They read your soul. Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons I really connected with them. We had the very classic, traditional Catholic family. 4 girls, 4 boys. I was 7. We were raised in a buddy system. They were there for you. You really always felt you had somebody behind you. And then you had Mass. My parents were really good about that. They were very strong Catholics. Volunteering was mandated. We learned to work very hard, very early age. I met my husband when I was right out of high school. He was right out of college, and we met drawing blood at the laboratory at a hospital. Being young and having a new family and children right away, it was difficult. We really felt the need for family and community. We were both very busy. My husband was just finishing medical school, going into internship and residency, and then I was working 3 jobs. I had a full-time hospital job, call, and worked at 2 clinics as well, so there was very little time to do anything other than survive. It's a true struggle, making ends meet and living your faith and having your family and knowing and trusting that it's going to work out, and sometimes it doesn't seem like it's going to. Our second child was born, Andrew, during his residency. I think right at birth I knew, that there was something not right. The sucking wasn't there. It was very difficult to get him fed. He was losing weight. He didn't cry. He would open his mouth and turn red, and like he was crying, but there wasn't the sound of crying. His first visit was actually normal, did not show any seizuring. EEG was fine. And we were in there for 24 hours the first time. He still had some issues, and then we went back in again and did a 72-hour EEG for seizure activity. And then there was some abnormalities on that. And I just got him home because I had somebody with Ricky. My husband was working then, and I literally got him home, and he went into a grand mal that lasted like 25 minutes solid, and stopped breathing and, resuscitating and the whole thing. And, just the bright lights, and they're strapping him down, trying to get him to not be shaking so much because they have to get lines and stop the seizuring, and it's life-threatening, and I understand that. But it was such an attack, and to see his little mouth like crying, no sound, it still haunts me. I had no way to make anything better at all. I couldn't get to my job for fun, to help financially. I couldn't be there for our other son because I was there with, Andrew, who was sick. I couldn't make Andrew better. You really feel like a pretty big failure as a parent, And so I prayed, and I prayed, and I knew it was going to be okay. I really did. I did believe those people were praying for me, and I did believe the family was praying for us, and I did believe Andrew had support, and he was going to be okay. But he wasn't. The diagnosis of Angelman syndrome came at 11 months. I believe he was one of the youngest, if not the youngest diagnosed. There was not a lot known about it at that time. I was told because he was more severe, he would not know us. And we should consider placing him because he would never know who we were. And he was such a perfect little happy baby at the time. I felt as if a wrecking ball hit you on the side of the head, and everything else he said was just your mouth moving. Nothing else, you know. And at that time, I just remember thinking, I am so angry. This is not how this is supposed to turn out. I was so angry. And my anger was with God. And I did it well. Really well. I stopped praying. I stopped going to church. I resented the people that said they were going to pray for me. I felt like I was a stronger mother for both of them. I was not going to give in to that emotion and get kicked out of a room. Anger made me strong. Anger didn't allow you to cry. Anger was adrenaline. You didn't need to eat. You didn't need to sleep. You were productive. You got things done. You could be what you needed to be. You didn't need prayer or God. You were better without it. You didn't have to feel and hurt. They said he wouldn't walk, or he was gonna, be very low functioning, and it was gonna be a strain on our family, and it was a strain to our other children. And to put this child through this struggle, what is the purpose? Why is that there?
I remember, really wanting a brother. I really wanted a brother. I wanted somebody to play with. I wanted a friend. And when I was old enough to realize that it was Andrew, it was really uncomfortable for me. I remember, it was kind of like, well, it's not really what I was hoping for. But, I remember I became incredibly protective over him. And I remember spending nights with him in the hospital. He'd have all of the EKG or, ECG, whatever wires attached to his head, and, the, different tests that would be run. I felt like the hospital almost became our second home.
It was probably a solid 2 years before I started realizing that anger was making me sick. Making me very sick. I was not healthy at all. And I didn't have peace. My children deserved a healthy parent. My husband deserved a healthy wife. And I didn't really want to give it up at all, but I wanted that relationship back that I missed. I missed the peace. I missed the health. I missed not having stomach aches. I missed bringing that mass and communion to my kids, to letting them know that faith is important. God is there for them. He has their back, Pray to him. He's gonna listen. I had to get back to believing in all of that when I was let down. O Mary, conceived without sin, pray for us who have recourse to thee. I think Mary always had a presence in my life, especially getting married and, being Catholic. The relationship with Mary, came more with our son when I was so angry with her son. And that relationship built so that I could come back to him. So Mary helped me forgive. We had a lot of time in hospitals and in therapy and in clinics, and everything revolved around how we were going to break status epilepticus if it went on for more than 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. Drove by a farm that had a horse for sale sign, and I pulled in with a boatload of children and checked out their horse, which was incredible. And I thought, yeah, that's what I have to have. And it was just more to feel alive again, normal again, just human. To get them away from that and into a farm environment, and to have those wounded spirits just touched, by the animals was huge.
My first memory was of a horse named Dollar, and I can very vividly remember how excited my mom was, seeing that kind of horse that was for sale when she was at that farm, and it really was. It was a really nice horse. We started going to that farm, and we had to spend quite a bit of time going to that farm before she was allowed to move that horse. And I remember, she was super positive, super just, energetic about the whole thing, couldn't wait to get me on the horse, couldn't wait to, to share it with all of us.
It was invigorating. It was freeing. It was life. It was breath. It was, pinch me, I am alive. I felt alive. It was that familiar smell, scent, sound. And they're so special, horses, when you're suffering, there's that nicker, that little soft muzzle, and they're muzzling your face, and they're true, and they're honest. And their trust, you feel like you can have that trust with them. I felt like God was telling me, with the presence of the horse, that it was okay to be human. It was okay. It was acceptance. Most children with Angelman syndrome do walk eventually, but Andrew had such severe seizures. They were thinking he had Lennox-Gastaut epilepsy as well, which is where they lose and regress skills after each large seizure. I didn't realize at the time the horse would help him walk. I just realized that the horse was going to give me an out, a break, and a breath so I could keep working and fighting the fight. And it was actually the young man who I bought the horse from who told me about therapeutic riding. And I didn't buy into it, to be honest, and I'm sad to say, but at the time we're in the medical field, I didn't know how that could make such a difference after all that we had been through. He was stepping in 6 months. It was incredible. As the horse would move, it moves you just like you're walking. So see his hips elevate, one and then the other. And then it started making sense to me why this was a good idea, a good thing. And he loved it. He absolutely loved it. And the kids loved it. And I realized, just like I was so stressed, if I can take the stress off of myself, I could make more of a difference. And we took a lot of stress off of Andrew and the kids. They saw the difference in Andrew. Therapists saw the difference in Andrew. People were seeing and communicating about his growth, which was fairly stagnant for a while, and they were having them call. Take it. That wasn't the plan. It was more just making sure that we were giving of our time and what our gifts were that we had acquired the source, and helping our friends. And from there, it was they told another friend, or that friend told another friend, and I was okay to just leaving it at that. That I wasn't looking for another job. Your hobby shouldn't be your job, right? So I was okay with that. Felt like we had shared some of our gifts and we're okay with it. But then more of the calling came. It's not sleep. It's not wake. It's clear. It's not wordy. It's on your heart. And you know it. You know it. And I'm not proud to say that I said no to it. Not once. Not twice. Third time, I knew I was going to answer the call. If you answer a call, I don't know about anyone else, but you're peaceful, you're joyful, and you're terrified because you don't know what you just signed up for. You don't know what exactly you just said yes to. You just know you said yes to something very important. I think that we're not meant to have all the answers. If I had all the answers, the fears would have been greater. And so knowing I answered a call, not sure what exactly it was going to look like, I relied more on that prayer and faith and knew that he would carry us. So that's when people came to offer talents, guidance, and service that, they came. They came before you even knew some of it that you needed. They came. So many times I would have on my heart, let them come. And I would think, who's them? Them the kids, them the people. You don't get all the answers right away. So, but I knew it would evolve, definitely, into all the people that are here today. Neighbors, they are family friends, they are strangers that didn't know about the place and heard about it from somebody, and they don't even realize they had a call to be here. And they grow and they fit and they become what makes this place special.
When I was looking to become a therapeutic horseback riding instructor, Equine Dreams, I think, felt different because how the families and, all the instructors and students are really a community. It's like that Bible verse of being planted in good soil, I guess. Sharon sees people through God's eyes, not just their exterior, but also their interior, their soul, and she had confidence in me and believed in me when I didn't.
I first heard about Equine Dreams when I was in grad school, so I came out and I just knew after my first visit here that it was just something that I was meant to do, that God put into my life to be part of. If everyone would just give their time and their heart to volunteering, it would just make the world just so much better. And I have really learned that being part of this program.
Since working here, I've changed, oh my gosh, it's a complete 180. And it's not that I've had to change who I was, it's just I had to grow in my experiences and what they've made me and kind of realize, what I had been through, the effects of it, and who I had to be to help other people. I wasn't grown up with a structured faith. I was raised Catholic, baptized, communion and everything, but never really stuck with it. But I knew there was something. I could always feel, God. And I always followed that feeling. And then when I came here, it was instantaneous, instant. It's like she sees who you are and then also sees who you can be. And she's like this bridge that's gonna make you aware of who you are, your experiences, heal, and cross over to who you're gonna be. And she's gonna push you there, and it's tough, and sometimes it hurts, but it's growth. It's always growth.
It's so powerful to be able to, work around so many people who share the same dedication that you do, that, to look around and see everything that is here and everything that exists and see people are here because they want to be here, because they want to make a difference in these kids' lives. And so I think it's just incredibly empowering to be amongst that kind of a group of people.
Having a child with special needs, it's painful. Wherever you go, wondering if you're going to be accepted. We knew it was going to be acceptance, a place where our students, where the children, where family members could go, who were welcome, a place without worry and concern that there's a normal you have to conform to. You can be yourself. You can bring your family. You're accepted. You're given time to pray, to walk, to feel, to grow in an unconditionally Lord-loving environment. My healing process, too, was that acceptance. I had to accept that normal is, what is that anyway? Why did I even use that word? Our family is fine. It's strong. It's like, you don't put that word on it. Accepting his love and mercy, accepting his plan for us, allowed me to grow, to open, to feel, and that's what he was trying to teach me. So trust is a funny thing. People can say, well, I don't trust horses, but they're talking about a different kind of trust than I was getting from them. I'm talking about the trust that their response is true. And they're very, very forgiving. They do something every day that I wasn't doing. You know, they have an incredible memory, horses. Almost, I believe they link it to like elephants. Good or bad, they remember everything. Their forgiveness is unfathomable. I couldn't begin to be as forgiving as a horse. They're given to us for a lesson, a really valuable lesson for those who will listen. So I just needed to get on that horse that was free, forgiving, truthful, and just ride it as fast as I could and just feel the truth, you know, just ride as fast as I could and heal and just be happy. Just be happy again. I'll try not to spur you, although it might be fun.